Hello and welcome to another episode of Geared Toward Gear. My name's Sean and I am so glad you're here. Today I'm going to be showing you my S.A.Ks. This is a tag video and I'm kind of like a middle schooler trapped inside the body of a 34-year-old, and so I'm going to say the phrase S.A.K a number of times probably. I'm going to try not to laugh out loud every time. I already tried filming this once, it didn't go well. But I was tagged in this video, or to make this video rather, by WoodlandTactical here on YouTube. And this is the Show Me Your S.A.K challenge. So he tagged me and two other YouTube channels. And I've been watching these kind of tag videos for years. I find them entertaining, informative, and just a good time. And this is the first time I've personally been tagged in such a video. So for that, I'm grateful. So thank you, Woodland, for that. He already posted his video, so I've already seen his S.A.Ks. He has 4 of them, to be exact. And I have several, as you can see. This represents most of my collection, not all of it. But I do have a number of S.A.Ks, and for those that don't know and haven't figured it out, S.A.K is the acronym for Swiss Army Knife, but it's funnier to say S.A.K. I don't care who you are or how old you are, it's just funnier. So I may say it quite a bit. I'll probably say Victorinox a lot too, because I'm kind of a purist like that. But S.A.K's fun. So yeah, the idea here is just simply to show some Swiss Army knives and talk about them. It could be one, it could be several, the whole collection. So I've got a number of them here to quickly share with you so you can see my S.A.Ks, and then I will in turn be tagging 3 other YouTube channels. And the channels that I am tagging are Jack Farm Boy, Big Red EDC, and JT's Knife Life. So I'll also leave links to their channels down below so that you can watch their videos once they get around to it, assuming they accept the challenge, so you can see their S.A.Ks, which might be a good time. In addition, I will say that WoodlandTactical, when he tagged me, also tagged Jet Fuel EDC and Zach's stuff. So again, links to their channels below so you can see their S.A.Ks. So just, there's going to be a lot of S.A.Ks, both in this video and in the responses and the tags. So if you're down for that, there's going to be plenty of links down below so you can see some Swiss Army knives from some different YouTube channels. So let me start with the one kind of front and center-ish, and that's the Super Tinker. I've had this one for a long time, probably close to 10 years, I would guess, and it's a pretty decent tool. I keep it in my EDC bag. It's got one main blade. It's got a full-size pair of scissors, which I love. It's got your standard small flat-bladed driver / can opener, and your larger flat-bladed driver, bottle opener, wire stripper, a secondary smaller pen blade, and then on the back side here you've got your Phillips drive, your hook, and your awl. So that is the Super Tinker and all of its tools. And you know, this is obviously, as you can see, by far my largest S.A.K, and the one that has the most, you know, the biggest tool set. And it comes in handy quite a bit, so it's definitely a good tool there. My 2 most carried and favorite models by far are these 2, and that's going to be the Victorinox Gazette and the Swiss Army 1. Now, I carry both of these in these little hitch and timber pocket slips. The Victorinox Gazette is a pretty well-known, beloved pattern from Victorinox. You've got your main blade here. You've got the same as we just saw on the Super Tinker, the 2 different size drivers, the bottle and can opener, wire stripper, and then your last tool is your nail file. And I really like the Cadet. I have a lot of them, like 12 or so. There's a couple more on the table here. Gold one, or champagne, I guess, is their new release for this year, and then a blue one, just to represent that I have a number of them. And so if you go watch my unboxing of the 2019 champagne color, you'll see my entire collection of Cadets. And then the Swiss Army 1, I love just for its simplicity. It is 1 blade, 1 tool, and that's it. Super straightforward, but I love it. It's excellent. It's a good size. And these used to go by the name of the Victorinox Solo, but they are now marketed as the Swiss Army 1, and I like it quite a lot. So those get carried the most often by far of all these. Over here, we have a Victorinox Bantam. So this is another ALOX version, and it has 2 tools. It has a main blade, and it has a kind of similar to what we saw, but a different design, flat-bladed driver, bottle opener, and wire stripper. This one is incredibly thin when you compare it to even like a Cadet, super, super thin. and lightweight. So that's the Bantam. They make these in, you know, the standard plastic handles as well, I believe. And then we've got a Excelsior. So this is also a very simple design, 2 blades, a very, very small pen blade, and your main blade here on a super thin, super lightweight frame, even a little bit thinner than the Bantam. And it's a slightly different finish on the A-locks. It's like a smooth aluminum, but I like it, super lightweight. And as you've noticed probably on a few of these tools, I like to put these Victorinox brand lanyards on some of my tools. They're super cheap. You can get them for like $2 a piece. I think I got mine from DLT Trading, I think is where I got those. I got like 10 at a time. And then the most classic of all S.A.Ks, the one that's the most beloved S.A.K of all time probably, is the classic SD. And there's your tool set. A small set of scissors, a nail file with a small flat-bladed driver on the end, and a teeny tiny little pen blade. But super useful. These have been carried on keychains around the world for years and years. This is the A-locks version, obviously, and then I've got a couple others over here in black and red, and those, of course, come with the tweezers and the toothpick. And that just leaves the two in the back, and those are simply backups of my favorite models. So a basic silver cadet and a Swiss Army 1. When I see good deals on these or sales with any gear, but especially with knives and flashlights, I always buy extras. So if I lose one or give one away, I've got an extra. So that is the majority of my S.A.Ks. I do enjoy Swiss Army Knives and Victorinox in general. I think it's a classic company, great designs, durable. It's stood the test of time for sure. And I imagine most of you watching have owned several throughout your life. And for a lot of us, you know, it was our first knife ever. It actually wasn't for me, but I know a lot of people, their very first knife is some sort of a Swiss Army multi-tool. So those are my S.A.Ks. Woodland, thank you so much for tagging me and asking to see my S.A.Ks. And I look forward to watching the videos from Big Red EDC, Jack Farmboy, and JT's Knife Life. Again, if they accept the challenge, and I sure hope they do. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.